We are carefully watching the Atlantic and Pacific tropics tonight. Good Tuesday evening to you. I'm Mike Nasel with the latest on the tropics. We don't have any names out there yet, but we still have our two features, our system here in the Caribbean and our larger system out here in the Atlantic. Both are high chances for development. And look at this, we have another monster tropical wave here on the right side of your screen that's going to move off Africa, so things are heating up as we approach the end of August. We also have a very powerful hurricane in the Pacific. I'll tell you all about that. Here's the latest as of 8 p.m. Eastern Time from the National Hurricane Center in Miami. Both of our systems are a high chance for development. The one in the Caribbean is an 80% chance over the next 5 days. The one in the Atlantic is a 90% chance over the next 5 days. And again, both of these systems should move generally in the direction of land, and that is very concerning because it could be anybody. I mean, Puerto Rico has to be watching the tropics with the islands, the Bahamas, Miami, the Gulf Coast, and the Yucatan, and Honduras and Nicaragua, Jamaica. Everybody needs to have their game plan ready, not just for these systems, but for what else could be on the way later on. We'll probably see something about that wave, that monster moving off Africa over the next couple of days from the Hurricane Center as well. Let's start with 97L, which is in the Caribbean, and you can see the models generally take it on a west to west-northwest track towards Central America, the Yucatan, and whether or not it would end up heading more towards, say, Texas or staying down into Mexico, either way, it could develop. And we'd have to deal with a tropical storm, maybe even a hurricane, somewhere around Mexico in the next 3, 4, 5 days. And then you'd have to watch it on the Gulf Coast in case it gets tugged on and pulled to the north. Right now, taking a look at the satellite imagery of the Caribbean, it's not terribly well organized yet. There's a lot of thunderstorms here over Colombia and areas of Venezuela, but you can see a lot of the spin is still offshore. So it's not perfect, but it does have a little bit of life this evening. And we're going to watch it because it's just flaring up, going away, flaring up, going away. And systems like that are very persistent. And that is a possibility that we could see development as this system continues south of Jamaica, it looks like. But again, keep an eye on it there. Okay, then we go further out, and here's 98. Okay, now 98 is a much more serious long-term threat, I think, and so do the models. And it's been on and off all day about the future development or intensity, but right now it looks like generally a west-northwest stair-step track in the general direction of the Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico, the Bahamas, and the southeastern United States. Now, again, it's possible it doesn't develop. It's possible it goes into the Caribbean Sea. It's possible that it turns away and misses all land, including Cape Hatteras and Bermuda. However, it's also possible that it stair-steps in through the Bahamas, the Keys, right into the Gulf Coast as a powerful hurricane. And that's why it's so concerning. This could be the first real threat of the year. We're not sure yet, but it could be. Here's the infrared satellite imagery, and good gracious, look at that on the right side. That's that tropical wave getting ready to leave Africa. I just wanted to note, look at the deep thunderstorms. Man, that's going to come out and do something. But here's our system. Look at the spinning right where I just circled. You could start to see that turning. What's happened over the last 18 hours or so was this spin to the right and this one to the left. These two blobs are competing for energy, and that is not favorable for quick development. It looks like this one here is winning out, and this blob will kind of get sucked in. Nevertheless, a very large system. Look at this is the coast of South America. This is the Cape Verde Islands, and it takes up a very large portion of the Atlantic. So the good news is a system like that could sprawl and take a while to get going, but when it does, it could be a big problem. Here's why. This is the Canadian model, and this was as of 12Z. The Canadian's been doing pretty well this year, and it takes our system, doesn't do much with the one in the Caribbean, pulls it up towards a tropical storm, but watch our system here in the Atlantic. It takes a track as a powerful hurricane straight through the Bahamas, straight through the Florida Keys, right into southeastern Louisiana by the 28th of August. Now that would be a very prolific hurricane track, okay? So that's the Canadian model as of 12Z. This is the H-Wharf hurricane model, which did pretty good on Hurricane Hannah. Look where it has it. This is on the 24th. This is Monday. 944 millibar, Category 4. Look at that. Right over the Bahamas, moving in the general direction of southeast Florida. If that's not scary enough, take a look at this model. The Hmon hurricane model makes it a Category 3 major hurricane nearing the Bahamas. And that would be on Monday. I'd really like to see what things are going to look like next Monday because some of these models are scary. Now here's the European ensembles. Now some people were saying, oh, it drops it, it keeps it weak. I'm not looking at intensity, okay? They had Dorian as a tropical storm, and it was the strongest hurricane in the Bahamas in the last 100 years. Look at that. It shows our system here in the Gulf moving towards Texas and Mexico. It shows our system in the Central Atlantic taking that dreaded track towards the southeast, and another system, probably that big fat wave over Africa, coming up all the way into the Central Atlantic. That is a very good indication that we are going to see things light up. I've been saying for weeks, this has been a very busy season. We've already had 2 hurricanes hit America, and they were both Category 1s. So who knows what else is on the way. But right now, word to the wise, overlook your hurricane plans. But yeah, that tropical wave over Africa, that could be something to deal with too. I mean, we're waiting on Laura, we're waiting on Marco. Nana, could this be you? So, overlook your hurricane plans and be ready because things are heating up. Speaking of heating up, look in the Eastern Pacific. Look at the sun hitting the right eye wall of Hurricane Genevieve. That is a gorgeous looking, this is the weather nerd in me, this is a beautiful hurricane. Look at the perfect symmetry, the well-defined eye. That is a gorgeous, dangerous major hurricane in Hurricane Genevieve. And the latest as of 6 p.m. MDT, Mountain Daylight Time, from the National Hurricane Center, Genevieve was at 19.0 north, 108.8 west, 125 miles an hour, had been up to a Cat 4. Very dangerous Category 3, moving northwest at 12, and we still have those tropical storm warnings for the Baja, California, because as the system parallels the Mexican coast, these winds are going to clip it. But again, you're not going to have to deal with a direct hit, and thank goodness. Look at that monster. Look at that donut eye. That is a very well-organized major hurricane. Of course, the Baja is right there. The eye of Hurricane Genevieve, taking kind of a northward turn here, which is a little bit scary. But again, it is anticipated to be just offshore, but you don't want it to get too close because then you'll be in the right front quadrant. It's a Category 3 storm. Nevertheless, high surf and swells all the way down Puerto Vallarta and areas of the Mexican coast down there. Just stay away from the water. And if you're in the Baja, hunker down because Genevieve is headed in your direction. That is concerning there at the end. Is that just me, or does it appear to be taking a northward bump there? Watch that. Yeah, concerning. Anyway, that'll do it on Genevieve and the tropics. Watch the Atlantic carefully. We'll be keeping an eye on it and see what comes of our 2 features. I'm Mike Nasel with the latest on the tropics, and I'll see you guys next time.